player, because your vision is our vision.
All right, well, so our featured game for this episode is Mr. Chin. I just wanted to review that game because it's one that I've not played before.
It's awesome.
And yeah, it's great. It comes free with the CollectorVision, um, Flash cartridge. So I just thought I'd review it to give you an idea of one of the two great games that you'll get for free when purchasing this fantastic product. So, Mr. Chin, it is a new homebrew game. From what I can tell, it looks like it was not released, as far as I can tell, on any system back in the day. So it's a new, brand new game that was released in 2008 by Collectorvision. So the game was actually, it looks like programmed by someone called Retro Elucid.
Retrolucid. That's one of the owners of CollectorVision.
Oh, okay, great. And they actually got the license from HAL Laboratory for the Mr. Chin character, which is pretty cool. So it's neat to see that all of this stuff is officially licensed and all legitimate stuff. It's not like someone doing this and just stealing existing content, but they're going through the proper channels and they're making these officially licensed characters and games, which is very, very cool. So basically, the gameplay for Mr. Chin is you've got a little character. He's a little guy named Mr. Chin, and the sprite is really detailed. It's cool. He's got a little goatee. He's in his little jumpsuit, and it's actually funny when he starts when he climbs and he turns around. You can actually see he's got a little tail of hair hanging out the back. It's pretty funny. So they put a little they definitely put some time and effort into designing these sprites because they're really great. But the premise of the game is that you are Mr. Chin, and you are China's proud plate spinner. So you're on stage, and you have to climb up these poles, and you take a plate and you spin it at the top of the poles. I remember seeing this on TV a couple times as a kid. I think it used to be kind of a big deal back then.
Yes.
So yeah, you take a regular dinner plate, you climb up to the top of a pole, you set the dinner plate on it, and you spin it. And the plate spins without falling off the pole. So this game is simulating you being on stage, and you got to spin these plates. And not only do you have to spin the plates, but you have to spin 7 plates on 7 poles across the first level. And once you set the 7th plate on the 7th pole, one of the poles will extend up to the next level, and then you could then climb up that pole to the next level and do another 6 plates. So to me, the game mechanics are all about trying to rush around and get from pole to pole. And there's actually a samurai that will appear on different levels. He'll stick his head out there just to kind of warn you, and then he'll whip a plate at you. It's pretty funny. And the plate will it'll roll on its end, and you have to either climb up a pole or jump over it. And actually, once you get further to the 3rd stage, because within each stage there's kind of a gap where you would climb up the pole to get through, the plate will actually bounce down to the next level and try to take you out. So as you get further and further into the game, it can get quite frantic, but so he can throw plates at you, he can throw his knife at you, and the knife moves really fast. So you always got to watch out for that samurai sticking his chin out from the side of the screen. Basically, you have to go to the edge of the screen to pick up plates. So there's a little blue box on either side of each level where you walk over, and Mr. Chin will pick up a plate and put it on his head, which is really funny. Again, they did great attention to detail. It's really funny to see him running around with the plate on his head. And you can jump in this game, and I wasn't sure if you could jump while you have a plate on your head, but Mr. Chin has great balance because you can't. Get away with it. So yeah, you can jump to dodge the katana when he throws it and the plates, and then sometimes when you're going to pick up a plate at the edge of the screen, the samurai will show up and try to cut you with his katana, so you have to watch out for that too. The game's really fun. It's very easy to learn. I would say very simple, but not in a bad way. It's kind of one of those great arcade games where it takes a minute to learn and a lifetime to master.
Yes.
Those are the best kinds of games.
Yes.
I was playing it last night, and my dad was just watching me, and he was getting into it just watching me, like, oh, look out, your plate's gonna fall, and it's just really fun to play and to watch. and that's one of the great game mechanics. So, in addition to dodging all these projectiles, it's about time management. So, if you climb up the first pole and you set a plate, it'll start spinning, and you'll see the plate spinning, and then you can go to the next pole and the next pole, and then after a while, you'll actually see the plates. They'll start to wobble as they start to slow down. So you have to occasionally revisit poles where you've already set a plate. You just climb up the pole, and Mr. Chin will spin the plate a little bit more to keep its speed up. So by the time you get halfway through the second level, you're going to have to go back down to the first level while dodging these projectiles to keep spinning the plates to keep them going. And I've got to give credit to Collectorvision on that because when you've got these 7 plates at the top of each pole, from a technical perspective, that's actually pretty hard to do because you've got all 7 plates all lined up horizontally, right?
Yeah,
So they're all
yeah.
on the same scan line.
Yep.
And in addition to that, you have Mr. Chin up there.
Yep.
So, yeah, animating all those sprites on the same scan line, I don't know how they did it, but that was pretty
Yes.
impressive.
Yeah, the flicker is almost not there.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah, you wouldn't even notice. Yeah,
Uh-uh.
yeah, they did a great job with that. So to me, I kind of feel like the game mechanics are almost as if you were playing, in a way, Tapper, but playing it vertically instead of horizontally, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. So
It's a good comparison.
yeah, it's one of the best things about it is that you could sit anyone down in front of it. They could watch you play for about 2 seconds and they'll figure it out. They'll be able to play, and it's really easy to start with, which is nice because it's very forgiving. You get an idea how to play, and then the difficulty ramps up. It's really not actually that steep, and you can get extra lives depending on the difficulty that you pick. Every so many points, you'll get an extra life, and yeah, it's great. And actually, I think the music is pretty catchy. I like it.
Yeah, I do too. I love the music in that game.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So this is just one example of a homebrew game that is really fun to play. It's absolutely wonderful. Definitely at the same level, or probably better than even some of the original ColecoVision games. And it's really cool to see that someone put the time and effort to develop a game like this. So if you buy your Atari Max cartridge, this is definitely a huge benefit to have this game that anyone could play. And of course, Mario Brothers, which I'm guessing we'll probably cover in another episode. But if it's basically the arcade version of Mario Brothers ported for the ColecoVision, and it's just great.
Yes.
You are the player, because your vision is our vision. The player. Sorry.
I played on ColecoVision.
You are the player. You are the player.